Hey, I've been wanting to update my Twitch alerts for quite some time, so today we're going to try this idea that I've been rolling around in my head. This vid's a longer one, so strap in and check the timestamps. Quick disclaimer, in order to follow along what I'm doing in this video, you're probably going to want to have at least a basic knowledge of OBS and STREAMER.BOT and how they work together. You'll also need to have the Move and ShaderFilter plugins installed for OBS. It's super easy to do. I've actually left links in the description. All right, so we're gonna start by setting up the scenes in OBS. So far, I just have a gameplay scene set up. This is going to be the main scene that we're gonna be using and where we want the alerts to go, or at least where we're gonna test the alerts. And right now I just have some footage I took a few minutes ago of me playing Marvel Rivals. We're going to go ahead and add a nested scene. I just usually do NS in brackets, and we're gonna call this alerts. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add all the scenes that we're gonna need, and I'll try to explain why as we go. The next one is going to be called username vids. Again, I'll have to explain this as we go. Username, and then in parentheses, I'm putting vids. This is where the textures are gonna go for the text that we're gonna be using. And we're using videos as texture. That's where the dynamic mask comes in. And then we'll add another one. In brackets, I'm putting alerts for these. These are nested scenes within the alerts nested scene. This one's called user mask. This is where the actual text is gonna go because we're using that text as the mask for the username. Hope this doesn't get too complicated. This one's also going to be an alerts nested scene, and it's gonna be called user pic. This is where we're gonna put the profile pic of the user. And then one more, nope, two more, I think. I'm gonna do alerts and then alert text, and then one more alerts nested. We're gonna put the alerts nested right below the alerts, and then everything else is fine where it goes. So let's start with the videos. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add a media source. I'm gonna call this one username vid1, okay? And then I'm gonna loop, use hardware decoding when available, and close file when inactive. Everything's going to be checked here. And then I'm going to go ahead and add 17 videos. I have compiled these videos that I wanna use as textures, and we're gonna do a random one each time the alert plays. So let me go ahead and load those, and when we come back, everything will be ready.
A few moments later.
Okay, we are back. I have created a media source for every video that I compiled. They're just textures. They're like, some of them are like kind of liquidy. Some of them are geometric. Some of them are like 3D looking, like this one. This one's kind of wild, kaleidoscope glass. Yeah, I actually like this one a lot. So I'm gonna leave this one running while we move on, and we're gonna come back to this a little bit later, but we're going to go to user mask, and we're going to go ahead and add the placeholder text so that we can stylize it for when we actually add text. So we're going to call this one username. Actually, let's rename that username mask. I'm setting the alignment to left and bottom because the other text is going to be below it. That might make more sense later. Let's go ahead and center it. Now we're gonna go in and edit transform. We want to align this to the bottom left, scale to inner bounds, and do bottom left again, okay? And then we can center this up. Again, the reason why I aligned it to the bottom and left is because there's going to be text below it, and then there's also going to be a profile pic to the left of it. Actually, this way for you. Wait, this way for you.
So I am confusion.
Let's continue. User pic scene. We're going to add a browser source, and we're just going to call this one user pic. Okay. And then we're going to set this to 300 by 300 because that is the size of the source that we're going to be using. Okay. And then we can center this up and make it the size of the scene. Now that's set up. We'll do some stuff to it later, but that's how it's going to look for now. Now for the alert text, this is going to have several sources in it eventually, but for right now, we're going to use a gift bomb as an example. So we'll just call it gift bomb. And for the text, we're going to say just dropped, and then we'll do like number sign gifted. The alignment is going to be left and top on this one, so leave it that way. Text transform, we're going to leave it lowercase, and I need to go back to the other one and make this one uppercase because I want it to be uppercase. Okay, next thing we need to do is we are going to use the mask to get the text in that unique texture. So let's go back to username vids. We're going to right click on the scene, go to filters. Now we're going to add a filter, and it's going to be from the shader filter. Okay, so user defined shader is what we want, and we're going to call this one username mask. I want all caps here. Username mask. Okay, and then we're going to click load shader text from file, and we're going to find dynamic mask. There it is. Dynamic mask dot shader. And then for the input source, we want it to be user mask, that actual scene. Okay. Then we go back all the way down to the bottom alpha channel. We're going to set the base value to 0 and the alpha value to 1. And ta-da. We now have this mask. Sorry, I'm in the way. You can't see all of it, I guess. There you go. And then depending on what video is playing, that's what it's going to look like. We're going to add an outline, so it's going to look a little bit different. So let's go ahead and add that outline. So we're going to add a couple more filters to this. So we're going to add another user-defined shader. We're going to call this one outline. We're going to load shader text from file, and we're going to do alpha border. It's like the second one down from the top. Border color is going to be white on this one. And let's just see. I like 10 looks good. Yeah, I can dig 10. And then we're going to go add another user-defined shader. We're going to call this one drop shadow. Load shader text from file, drop shadow, open. Okay, and then we're going to turn the blur size all the way down because we don't need it. So we don't need our GPU to have problems. Okay, and then we're going to select the black color, and then I check is pre-multiplied. You don't have to, but I always do. Now let's go back into gameplay. Let's go ahead and add the alerts scene. Okay, so this is the nested scene alerts. There we go. In alerts, we actually need to add the nested scene alerts nested. Okay, we're still not seeing anything. We need to go into alerts nested, and we need to add all of the objects. So we're going to add the user pick, and then we're going to scale them where we want them. And it's just going to be rough for right now. And then we're going to add the username vids is what we want. Okay, so this is the username. Let's center this maybe. That's good. And then we can make it a little bit longer. Because we scaled to enter bounds, it's never going to be bigger than this. And then let's add the the alert text. Go. This needs to be edited real quick. I used Alt and dragged this just to crop it a little bit. And I can do the same thing for this one too. Why is that not? Just so it's easier to manage. Let's go back into alert text and make sure that this is the size that we want. Let's put it right in the center. We also need to make this one scale to enter bounds top left. There we go. Now I can scale it, and it will not go outside these bounds.
You shall not pass!
Okay, and then let's go back to alerts nested. Cool. For now, that looks pretty cool. Let's go back into gameplay. Yeah, so there we go. So we've already added the border and the shadow to the username mask. Let's go ahead and go into the user pick and do what we're going to do there. First, I need to add a filter to the actual source. We're going to add an image mask / blend. And then I'm just going to use a circle. Okay, so now we're back to the filters on the actual scene. Let's Let's go back to gameplay. So now it's a circle the way we want it to be. And then I'm going to add user defined shader. We're going to do the border and the drop shadow just like we did with the username mask. Alpha border, white. Border thickness. So 10 doesn't work for this one. So we need to make it bigger to match the title. We also need to add extra pixels because the border is thicker and you can see that it's getting cut off. So we're going to add as many as we need for the actual border. As you can see now, it's a full circle. Then we're going to add the drop shadow. Scroll down, find drop shadow, hit OK. Turn the blur size down. We're going to select black as the color, alpha pre-multiplied, and we're going to make this one a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to use 10 on the offset of the X and the Y, and then we're going to need to add those pixels back up here. Okay, so now you can't see it that well because of the dumb image that's in there, the placeholder, but once we get an actual image in there, you'll be able to see how it matches everything else. And now let's stylize the alert text. Let's go ahead and give it a color. Let's just do this like pale yellow for now. Go back in. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and we're going to add some filters to this and just watch it while we're doing it. So we're gonna add a user-defined shader. We're gonna call this one RGB, and we're gonna use this thing called, or at least I'm gonna try out RGB color wheel. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to set the speed a little bit slower, and then we're gonna make the color depth a little bit less. Okay, that's probably good right there. And then we're going to change the center width. So, because I don't want there to be a lot of colors all at once. So we're going to change the center width to 88 and then the center height to 0. So that's cool. It's a little bit less rainbowy, but it's always going to be a little bit different. And the speed, you're not going to notice the way it's moving because it's only going to be up for 3 seconds. So it's just going to be a different color every time. And then let's go ahead and add a user-defined shader again and do the drop shadow. Okay, everything's stylized the way I want it. Before we move on, you'd be doing me a huge favor if you just hit that like button. It's free to you, but it helps my channel a ton. Boring! All right, let's make the alerts move now. So in alerts nested, we're going to hit filters on the scene, and this is where we're gonna do all the movement here. So I'll move this, hopefully you guys can see everything just fine. So I'm going to add a move source. We're gonna call this one user pick in. Okay, this is when the user pick is going to come in. The duration is going to be 300 milliseconds. User pick is the source. And then we're going to just hit get transform. It did that already for us. So we're just gonna move on. We're gonna do another one, move source. Now let's do this one, user name in. Okay, and we're gonna do username / vids, same duration, get transform, we're good there. Okay, one more in move is going to be move source alert text in. Hopefully this starts to make sense. Alert text is going to be the source, 300 milliseconds, yes, get transform. So we now have all these in, so it's not going to do anything if I hit them now, but this is the in position. I'm going to go ahead and add a simultaneous move. If you go all the way down to the bottom, simultaneous move is going to be username in, and then for username in, the simultaneous move is going to be alert text in. So now if I hit user pick in, it's going to do all of them at the same time. So let's go ahead and do the out. So we're going to do move source. We're going to do user pick out, right? We'll make sure it's user pick. That's fine with the custom duration. I'm good with that. Another one, move source.
Another one.
This one's going to be username out. Okay. And then this is going to be username as the source. Oh no, we'll do get transform later. And then move source again for the alert text out. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do the simultaneous move. Wait, alert text is alert text. Yes, yes. Checking the sources here. User pick out simultaneous move is going to be username out. For username out, simultaneous move is going to be alert text out. But then user pick in, we actually need to make this end delay 3000 milliseconds. User pick in, end delay is 3000 milliseconds. Next move is going to be user pick out. This will all make sense later. This is going to be like a series of events. This is the part that I have planned out. So let's go ahead and set these up. User pick out. I want that to come in from the left. So I'm going to go ahead and move it straight off the screen, and then we're going to get transform. And then for the user name out, I'm going to select this. I'm going to go off the screen, and then wait. Where did I want this to come from? This is wrong. Okay, I wanted this to come in from the right. Okay, so this is going to be get transform. User pick out. I wanted this to come up from the top. Oh God. Okay, user pick in. Okay, so that's going to be out. User pick out is going to be there, and then user name out. I think I already did that one. Yes. Why did that look like it went up? Let's make sure it's going straight that way. Okay, and then we'll just select get transform for that one. And then alert text out, we're going to be coming in from the left on now. Get transform. Okay, so now if I hit user pick in, everything comes in. If I hit user, and then it all goes back after 3 seconds. Let's try it again. I am good with that. Let's actually make this, just to be safe, let's make this 3300 milliseconds. Just give it a little bit of extra time. I'm trying to do the math in my head so it'll make sense. And I think we are good here. Now we need to go into alerts, and we need to do a little bit of the same sort of thing, but we're gonna make it a little bit more subtle. I want to be able to see them. So let's go ahead and go into the filters. There we go. So now I can see them so that I can adjust it. So in alerts, we're going to do scene filters. Okay, so right click on the scene and then go to filters. We're going to add one move source called start. Okay, that's where this is going to start right here. And let's actually just rename this to alert start. There we go. We're going to do another one called alerts grow. And then we're going to do another one called alerts disappear. Okay, so alerts start, alerts nested. It's the only scene or the only source in this scene. And we're going to make it, that's 300 milliseconds. That's totally fine. And then we're just going to get transform. We're already there. Alerts grow is going to be 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to just make this a little bit bigger. That's it. Like that. Okay, very subtle. And then we're gonna make this ease out instead. It will make sense when it happens. And then we're gonna do next move here is going to be alerts disappear. Simultaneous move is going to be user pick in. So for alerts disappear, so I have to go back a little bit because when I want this to disappear, I want it to shrink down into the center, okay, of where it is. So when this happens, I want this to do it to the center. So right now it's top left, and I'm afraid that it's going to shrink up to the left, and I don't want that to happen. So we're going to do top center, and then we're going to just center this again, and we're going to have to retrain the get transform for the alerts grow. Okay, we're going to get transform. Okay, and then for the alert start, let's just put this back where it goes. Okay, and then alert start, get transform. That should all be good now. Alert start, and then alerts grow. There we go. And then, yeah, and then it's trying to do other things, right? So let's go ahead and set this to disappear. We're gonna go ahead and just do 0 on the size and 0 on the X and 0 on the Y. And then we're gonna set that to the alerts disappear, get transform. Fingers crossed this is gonna look the way I want it to look. Okay, one last thing. On alerts disappear, I need to add next move is going to be alert start. And I need to put that on a delay of, I think it should be like 500, all right? And that's just gonna reset everything, okay? And then if I go ahead and hit alert start, we restart everything, okay? Everything's where it should be. And then let's go to the gameplay. just so that we can see it in action. And I'm gonna take this off the screen so you can see it. And then if I hit alerts grow, 3, 2, 1. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's try alerts disappear. 1 should be 200 milliseconds, and then the end delay should be 500 milliseconds. I screwed that up. I did 500 milliseconds on the custom duration instead of the end delay. So it's 200 milliseconds for the custom duration, and then 500 milliseconds for the end delay. Now it should look better. Let's go ahead and do it again. Alerts start. I'm just going to make sure everything's reset. And then alerts grow in 3, 2, 1, go. Bam, that's good. I don't totally love how it kind of disappears up into the screen. I kind of want it to disappear here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out, let's see something. I want it to disappear like in the center here. I want it to be more centered. So when I do, let's go ahead and close this. Right click alerts. So this is alerts disappear. I want it to not get sucked up into the screen like this. So let's go ahead and go edit transform, and let's do 0 and 0. Pixels here is at 0 right now. Let's set it to, what is this right here? What would this be? Hold on, let's go back to this, 1920 by 1080. I can actually see what it is if I go like this. I want it to be around here. So that would be like 200 pixels, maybe, the middle of it. So let's try 200. So let's go 0 on the size on both sides, and then let's do 200 pixels. Okay, and then close, and then let's go ahead and just get transform for that. Hopefully, this is what I wanted. Yeah, cool. That's what I wanted. Yeah, so you can see like when it comes in, like it's still kind of moving. It's not static. It's definitely got like some cinematic sort of movement to it. So that's everything in OBS. Now we're going to move to StreamerBot to make everything happen when the alerts are actually triggered. Okay, we're here in StreamerBot. I have a fresh install here, so there's nothing in it. I'm gonna go ahead and right click in here in the actions, and we're gonna just get started. We're gonna call this one Gifted Bomb Action. Oh, wait. Gifted Bomb Alert. Okay, and we're gonna just do it in the alerts group. We can make a queue for it another time. That's really kind of like your own prerogative. Save every time you do anything. Now over here in sub actions, we're just gonna start kind of going through the process of like, what do I want to happen? First, we need to get some information. So we're gonna go into Twitch, and we're gonna go into user, and then we're gonna get user info for target, and then from user. So this is going to get all of their stuff because we need the URL for their profile picture. We need their username. We need like what they did. So if it's a gift bomb, we need to know how many they gifted. And then we're gonna go ahead and set the browser source. So once we get the info, we need to set the browser source of the profile pic source. OBS, we're gonna go to sources, and then we're going to set browser source URL. So this is going to be in the user pic scene, and then it's going to be the user pic source, and then in not parentheses, in between percent signs, the percent sign just signifies that it's a variable. You're going to use target. It actually tells you down here, target user profile image URL. Let's make sure I spelled that right. Yeah. So that's going to set the browser source to the URL of their Twitch profile pic. Okay. And then we need to do another source, and it's going to be the GDI text sources. Okay. So set GDI text, and this one's going to be the username. So we need user mask. That's where the actual GDI text is, right? And then it's just going to be percent user percent. You can use target user too. Those are like two different things. One's a display name, one's a username. I just go ahead and just use user. We're going to do another one. OBS sources and then set GDI text again. This one's going to be the alert text and this one's going to be the gift bomb, and we're going to do just dropped. And then we need %, gifts, plural, %, gifted. ! So this will grab the information of how many they gifted during a gift bomb, and then it will replace that variable with that and then change the GDI text. So that's grabbing the information and then changing the actual sources. And now we need to like move everything. Oh wait, we need to add a group and then hit random on that group. We're going to rename the group and we're going to call it random vids. So these are all the videos that I wanted to randomize to create a different texture every time the alert is set off. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. We're going to add OBS source visibility state. So I want to set source visibility state, and this is going to be in the vids. That's why I put vids in parentheses so I knew what I was looking at. And then we have 17 vids. I want to turn this one on, and then I want to do this 16 more times. So give me a second.
2,000 years later.
Okay, I'm back and I have created a random folder, okay, or a random group, sorry. So you right click, you hit add group, and then you right click on the group. You can rename it, but then you can go down to random and then click random. So this is checked as random. So anything in this folder, when it comes to this group, it will only do one thing from that group each time that it's played. So these are all just randomized. It will just pick one of these videos and make it visible. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, and after that happens, I'm gonna add a delay of 500 milliseconds just to make sure that everything's processed, because I don't want there to be like a small hiccup and then the video not be playing in time for all of this, because this all happens really, really fast. So I want it to get all that information, change all the text sources, change the user pick, and then start the video. All that happens in a blink of an eye, and then I need to give it time to just like think. Just giving it time to think, that's all. Okay, we're gonna start the movement with a sound. So I'm gonna go into core, sounds, play sound. And then I'm not gonna show you my file system, but I have some whooshes that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I've gone ahead and add the whoosh, and let's test it. Cool. Let's just hit OK. Make sure that when you're doing this, you turn off finish before continuing, or it will literally play the sound and then continue. We want this to kind of all happen at once. Okay, so we're going to play the sound. That's the first thing that happens. That's going to happen as soon as we start moving everything. So let's go ahead, and we need to select the thing that's going to trigger all the movement. And that was OBS scenes, and then set scene filter state. And this was in alerts, I believe, the nested alerts. And then we need to do alerts grow. That was the thing that triggers everything that's connected. Because remember, I did simultaneous move with the pick in, and then user pick in is simultaneous move with the text and everything else. So that's how it triggers. So we're gonna hit OK. Then we're going to delay for 3,000 milliseconds. And the reason we're gonna do this is because I want it all to happen, and then when it gets sucked in, I want another sound to play. So we're just gonna like duplicate this one, and then I'm going to choose a different whoosh. Be right back. So this one's a smaller whoosh. It's for the kind of sound. It's not exactly what I want for right now, but it will work. Now, the only thing we have left to do is to delay a little bit and then turn the videos off, because we don't want that to happen. And then these videos like keep running and we're just like taking up all these resources on our computer for no reason. So let's go ahead and add a short delay. We're just going to do 500 milliseconds. And then we're going to go we're going to copy this folder, copy group, and then we're going to paste group. Now we need to go first, before we forget, let's turn off the random, because we need this to turn all the videos off no matter what. So we're gonna go ahead and turn off random, and then I'm gonna rename this turn off vids. Okay, now I'm gonna go through and just hide all of these. Okay, so now at the very end, all of these videos are gonna be hidden and we should be ready to like start everything over again. So let's go ahead and we need to test this. So let's just go ahead and create a trigger. So if we go into Twitch and then we go down to subscriptions and then gift bomb, right? This is the trigger that we want to happen. And we'll just make it any count range right now, the gifted subs, and it can be any kind of sub too. Just hit okay. So now we have this trigger and we can just test the trigger whenever we want. Okay, let's go ahead and save. I haven't saved in a while. Okay, and then I'm gonna make this smaller. I'm gonna grab this and take it off the screen so I can test everything and you can see what's happening. So if I go ahead and I test the trigger, let's see what happens. Nice. That's pretty much what I wanted. It's not crazy by any means. It's pretty simple and it's clean. That's what I wanted. It's short and to the point, but I feel like it has like a really good impact. But also check out what happens if I do it again. Okay. For a minute, I was a little afraid that because it played the same video twice. But yeah, so it's gonna be a random video each time. Gotta be honest, I don't love how close the username is to the profile pic. Yeah, it's pretty close. Let's change that really quick. Okay, I think that looks a little bit more balanced. Let's try it again. Sorry for the confusion, and this is just what happens sometimes. Not everything works perfect the first time. Testing trigger in 3, 2, 1. Nice. I really love the dynamic mask. I really love the video and like the texture happening. Like it looks pro to me. Let's try it again. One more time. Hell yeah. Yeah, big fan. That's all for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I sincerely hope you were able to learn something from this. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, please leave it in the comments. If you'd like to connect more or share what you've done from what you've learned, you can join my Discord via the link in the description. I like to game and play music and stream and stuff, so it would be really cool to have you guys in there.
Sweetheart, how many times have I told you don't say and stuff?
Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, have a great time.